Hey guys, this is Ian1 Diecast Reviews, and today I will be doing something a bit special. So, today I just found out that the 2027 leaks for the diecast line, there are a couple, which you can see on the screen right now, and I will be discussing this with you guys, so that you guys can know about this, because I'm pretty sure you guys have probably watched your other favorite YouTubers, and I just want to discuss it myself. So, we will be starting at the top with JPM74, which this is the singles. That kind of got cut off, but it is the singles. Also, I just want to say thank you to the people that have found this on Reddit, and also the person that posted this onto Instagram, because that is very helpful, and I will be using the one from Reddit today. So yeah, I'll just put the little shout out at the end because I don't want to get the names wrong. But basically, let's get into this. So the first thing is listed as Cars LMQ Target Dust. Now this thing is very confusing to me, at least, because I know LMQ probably means Lightning McQueen, but then Target Dust, I'm a little bit confused as to what that could possibly be. So I'm probably guessing that either it's going to be like a dirt track Lightning McQueen, or maybe a dirt track Rusty's Racing Center Lightning McQueen, because that would be really cool. Because the reason why I say that is because it says Target, and the Rusty's Racing Center Lightning McQueen's, all the stuff that had to do with that used to be exclusive to Target when they first came out. So I'm just assuming that that's what they mean. And with the dust, I'm assuming that's like Dirt Track Racing Center Lightning McQueen, or something like that. Or it might be like a race-determined version of Lightning McQueen, which would be really cool, especially if it's a Cars 3 version. Even Cars 1, Determined Lightning McQueen hasn't been out for a long time. So that'd be really cool to see. These are just guesses, because obviously this is kind of vague at what it means. But yeah, just let me know down in the comments what you guys think about that one. Now let's move on to the next one. JPM75. Cars Cone Mater. So, I don't know why I said Cars. But anyway, Cone Mater, I'm guessing, is Mater from Mater and the Ghost Light, when he is scaring Sally with the cones in his mouth. Because this has been released before, but I'm pretty sure back then it was a deluxe, and since the deluxe line is dead now, I'm not sure how they would do that. Maybe they would count as a 2-pack and just pack them with extra cones. I don't know. But yeah, there's just an image of him on the screen so you guys can see how he looked like. Probably gonna look pretty similar. I just hope that's not downscale or something. My best guess is that they're just gonna leave the cone on the side. So then you would actually be getting him for cheaper. So like you have to click it in, like you know how Mater with 95 hat was this year. Let's move on to the next one though. Now, I'll group together the next two because they basically fit in with each other, which is JPM 76 and 77, which is Halloween Lightning McQueen and Halloween Cruise. Now that is really insane, because I know that like a year or so ago, if I'm not wrong, the Disney store released a multi-pack with like Halloween Lightning McQueen, one of the tuners, I forget his name, I think it was like DJ or something, Red, and there was another person, I just forgot which car it was. Yeah, just remind me of that in comments. But so basically, these are the costumes that are worn by the animatronics at Cars Land during Halloween time about. So this is really cool, because we haven't gotten these as 1/55 scale diecast before. We've only gotten them from the Disney store, which I think is like 1/48 scale or 1/43, somewhere in there. Maybe 1/42, I forget, because I don't have any of the Disney store diecasts. But yeah, so they are bigger, but now we'll be getting official Mattel ones, which are going to fit in with the rest of ours, which is really, really cool. And I am a little bit curious to see when these are released, if they're just going to release them early on, they're not going to be part of the mainline, because it seems as though they're calling it part of the mainline. if they're listing it here. But I'm just assuming that they might maybe do what they did with like the Easter ones. And I think it was like 2021 where they put like Lightning McQueen as Easter Buggy in the Mainline and that sort. And also how they did Luigi and Guido that were mummified. But they were like the last case of the year, because even though that comes out at around September-ish, it's still a lot closer to October, or it might be the first case of the year, being a little bit late in November. I would like the other one, because then we get to get them right away. But if it ends up being later, I won't really complain too much. But yeah, it's just pretty cool to see these, and I'm definitely going to be wanting to pick those up if I ever can find them. And yeah, and let's move on now to the next stuff. Now, JPM 79 through JPM 84 say Tentpole, Tentpole Lightning McQueen, and Tentpole Racer 1 through 5, which is very interesting because Tentpole means something big in like cinema or stuff like that. It's like a tentpole movie or stuff I've heard, because I wasn't sure what that meant either. I had to search this up because I wasn't sure. But while I was researching it, I found that that's what Tentpole means. So I'm guessing that this is probably the next expanded universe line. Could be Formula 1, because we all know that Race and Rescue is taking over Glow Racers for Target. And I was curious as to what would be the Walmart exclusive line then. And I'm guessing that it's probably going to be Formula 1. So it's probably going to work like this, that Formula 1's in the main line for a year, and then it sneaks to be a store exclusive, kind of like Race and Rescue. That's my best guess. But of course I might be wrong, so we just have to wait and see. But now I want to move on to the next items, because these are some pretty interesting items. First, we got Fabrizio at JPM 85. A lot of people probably don't know who this is. I didn't for a while, but while I was researching, it turns out that he's actually one of like the rich cars in like a background character scene, like where there's background characters in the background, and he's one of those. And so he's really, really cool. Hasn't been re-released since his original re-release, which I think was in 2012, if I'm not wrong. So this is awesome to see, and I just think he looks really cool as well, as you guys can see on the screen right now. So yeah, and now let's move on to the next one. It says Bindo Maserati JVN 34. So Bindo is actually another one of those special cases where he has not been re-released for some reason. Yes, I know that I skipped over one, but I'm saving this one for a little bit later because he's a special case. But anyway, back to Bindo. So basically, Bindo hasn't been re-released either from Fabrizio, which is why I'm grouping them together, because they haven't been re-released in a long time. So will be really nice to see him also, because he was re-released as a Cars 2 background character, and he will be re-released again, which is awesome. And then there's also Hudson Hornet, JVN 35. I bet we all know what that means. It's probably going to be like Doc Hudson. Now, if I was to be like very speculative, I would hope, like crossing my fingers, that it's the fabulous Hudson Hornet with headset. Because that guy I've been wanting for a very long time, and I almost bought him off of eBay a day ago, but I decided not to. So I'm really hoping that this ends up being the fabulous Hudson Hornet with headset. Pretty much of a stretch, but who knows. And I mean, it's more likely just to be regular fabulous Hudson Hornet. And even if it was just regular fabulous Hudson Hornet, I'd rather that be than the dirt track one, because that one's been out for like the past 4 years consecutively, so it's insane. And I would just like the clean one with like the regular wheels and all that, you know? And now let's move on to Jeff GP Kart, which is JVX93. Now this one, I'm assuming, is I think that this means Jeff Gorvette Pity Kart. So I'm thinking that's what the GP stands for. Like, it's saying that Jeff Gorvette's pity with a cart. That's what I think personally. So it might be a little bit different than that. I might be wrong. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be Jeff Gorvette's Pity with a Cart, because that probably makes a lot more sense than Jeff Grand Prix Cart, because that's what I heard Toy Reviews TY say when I was watching his video earlier. So, I mean, I don't know, honestly. He might be more right about it, but I'm assuming since it says Cart, that's going to be Jeff Gorvette's Pity, forget his name. But they'll be re-releasing him with a cart, which would be really cool. Now let's move on to the color changers briefly. So I'm going to be skipping to the not as interesting one, which will be Jeff Gorvette, because come on guys, it's just Jeff Gorvette. And he's going to be a color changer. Same old, JVJ42. Now let's go to the more interesting ones with Cars Rusty's Lightning McQueen, which I find actually to be pretty intriguing, because I am wondering if they mean the Rusty's Training Center Lightning McQueen or the Rusty's Lightning McQueen as in like the paint job from the Star Cars 3. So, I mean, either way, that would be really cool. And I'd love to see that if it does come out as a color changer. And I don't really own any color changers. I do have a color changer car wash, and it would be cool to have some color changers. And then next is Cars Tongue McQueen. So Tongue McQueen, that's very interesting, because I don't think that they made a Tongue Lightning McQueen color changer, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think that they've done that yet. So that would be very, very interesting to see them do that. And as Toy Reviews TY stated, they'll probably just use the mold from the playset that came out this year. I originally tried reviewing that, but like I stated in my video a little while back, accidentally deleted the review. So I might just end up reviewing it on its own, but I don't know. And let's just move on to the most interesting item here, which could also turn out to be the least interesting item, because we saw it happen with Jeff Gorvette and Pat Trax and 2-Pack in 2026 this year. We thought it was Cars 3 Jeff. Ended up being Cars 2, and everyone got mad, because if it was going to be Cars 3 Jeff, that probably would have been one of the greatest re-releases of the year, in my opinion. But it didn't. Which, I mean, I know why it gets hate now, but I still like it because I didn't have Cars 2 Jeff Gorvette. But of course, it would have made more sense being Cars 3 Jeff Gorvette. But anyway, that's besides the point. This says Chick Color Changer, which is very interesting, because if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we've ever gotten a Chick Hicks color changer. I'm pretty sure we got a Dynaco Chick Hicks color changer, but I don't think we've gotten a regular Chick Hicks color changer. And so that would be very cool to see, just because, I don't know, he's one of the main 3 racers from the first film. He's still pretty prominent in the 3rd film, because he still is in it. So, I mean, still, I'd call him prominent. And so it just would be pretty cool. And of course, we got our Main Racers 3-packs. Celebrate Lightning McQueen, Celebrate Mater. I don't really care about the Mini Racers too much, but I guess we're going to have more races to celebrate going into next year. Strange. Maybe it's a different line that goes underneath Celebrate, or I honestly don't know, but it's probably going to be a race to celebrate. Pretty interesting, though. And we got McQueen Team, which sounds pretty interesting, I guess, because it probably would be like Mac and Lightning McQueen and like maybe a Pity or something from the Star Cars 1 or something like that. Like My Name's Not Chuck. I'm just like thinking here. And there's one that's Radiator Springs, just probably going to be 3 of Radiator Springs characters. And there's going to be Theme, TBC. I have no idea what that is. You guys just tell me what you guys think down in the comments. I have no idea. And then we got 2 suspicious ones that are High Octane 1 and 2. No idea what those are going to be. Probably they're just going to be racers. That's what I'm guessing. They're just going to be like next gen racers or like Cars 1 racers or something for the Mini Racers line. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts on this. And it's looking like it's going to be some pretty cool re-releases. Although it's kind of strange that Frosty Winterbottom isn't like gonna. He was a chase, and I'll touch on him before we end this because I told you guys I'd save him for last. But basically, Frosty Winterbottom was like the Australian race car that swaps it out for Jeff Gorvette. And so he was like a super chase, I think, and he was restricted to only Australia, I'm pretty sure, like all the other ones. Kind of like Memo Rojas Jr. and also Flash Nielsen. And all those guys, those two got re-released this year, which used to be chases. So, I mean, it was kind of expected. But it's still really cool because I'd probably pick that one up because it's the Australian car. And Australia is cool. I don't know. I like Australia a lot because, I don't know. I just do. So, yeah. But I'm just looking forward to that. I'm probably going to pick him up as well. I'm a very big Cars 2 fan, if you guys don't know. But yeah. So basically, that's my thoughts. And just let me know down in the comments what you guys think about these leaks. Let me know which ones you are interested in getting. Of course, this is just a small piece of the main line of next year. And the main racers and color changers. This isn't the whole line, clearly. But it is looking like we're getting better re-releases next year than what we got this year. Even though this year was Cars 1's 20th anniversary and Cars 2's 15th anniversary. Somehow we're getting so many good Cars 2 racers. Kind of strange if you think about it. But oh well. Anyway, that's about it for this time. Make sure to slam that subscribe button and also hit the like as well. Helps out my channel a ton. And I will see you guys all next time in the next diecast review.